So you should be nice and warm now after that preparation session for the body, getting nice and warm, the blood is pumping. We're ready to start into that main session. So we're going to come to the end of the mat. We're going to roll the shoulders, hip width apart with the feet, roll the shoulders, and we're going to roll down through the spine. We're going to walk out into hands and knees. From here, we're just going to come back into a little stretch, and we're going to come over onto the back so that we can start with our main set of exercises. The first is going to be a hip bridge to start with. So we're going to come all the way back down onto the floor, and we want to think about here is our pelvis. So we want hip width apart with the feet if we can. You can go further in, which is going to create more instability here through the core, and it is going to make things a little bit more difficult for you. You'll have to work on your balance more, which obviously challenges the core more, your internal abdominals, your deep abdominal muscles. So you can go wider as well if that feels more comfortable for you with the back. I'm going to stay with hip width apart, thinking about our alignment at all times. So we want to make sure that we do a gentle rock of the pelvis, forwards and backwards. From here, we just want to find that point A, that point C, and we want to find that midpoint B, where we have neutral pelvic alignment here, where the back is, you know, not all the way pressed into the floor, but we're not arching through here either. We have a good base to work from. So you can even take your thumb and your little finger, and you can roll backwards and forwards here. The little finger goes higher than the thumb, and the thumb goes higher than the little finger, and we want them to be level. We want to find that midpoint where the thumb and the little finger is level. We want to draw belly button into spine, nice easy breathing, relax the shoulders into the mat, and we're going to slowly peel the pelvis off the mat, vertebrae by vertebrae, all the way up into that hip bridge position. So you can have your hands down by the side. You're going to squeeze the bum, the glutes at the top, and you're going to try and keep the hips and the pelvis nice and steady and level. So you're going to do everything with good control. You're going to come slowly back down with control. So we're going to push into the heels, rock the pelvis up, draw the tummy in, breathing out as we move, breathing in at the top, breathing out as we move, gently down, one vertebra at a time. Let's do two more here, pushing into the floor with the heels, raising up, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out as we come down. If you want to add on to that, we can take the arms overhead as we lift up, over into the back. Breathing out, we can come down, stretching through those shoulders, bringing the arms back down once the pelvis is down. So rocking through, arms go up, bridging into that hip, rise at the top, squeezing the bum, coming down with control, all the way down. We can take the hands back down. Good stuff. Again, if you want to make it a little bit harder, you can come all the way up. You can float the arms down to the side. Staying in this raised position, you can lift and lower one leg at a time. Again, again, keeping the pelvis nice and stable, pushing through one leg. Nice slow movements. Breathing in, preparing the body, breathing out. Good stuff, rolling down. And you might want to do a few more repetitions of those if you feel that that's achievable. Another addition to that would be a single leg hip bridge. So taking one leg up, flexing the foot, keeping this leg nice and active, pushing through the heel of the leg on the floor, rolling up through the spine, lifting and squeezing in that bum, and then slowly back down. Repeating. And obviously you're going to feel this in one leg. And you might feel it in your quad, in your glute, in your hamstring. You won't get particularly high, but you will feel that working, and you can keep that going with control. Then we're going to swap sides. So again, that leg goes up. And lift and lower, keeping this pelvis nice and aligned, rolling through the spine. Let's do one more here. Good stuff. If you wanted to make that a little bit harder, you could add on a bit more. You could add on some additional arms. Again, coming down and then over. So you could repeat that as well on the other side for a little bit more. If you wanted to make it harder or a little bit different, you could take yourself a little Pilates ball, squeezing in the ball. So you get nice inner thigh adductor work in here as well. So again, rolling up through the floor, but pressing into that ball at the same time. And it doesn't really matter if you do nasal breathing or mouth breathing. Just do what is best for you. Coming up and down. Another variation on that would be, you could straighten the leg. You could come up into that hip bridge and you could lift and lower that leg, either pointing or flexing that foot and keeping that pelvis nice and stable. You're working into this leg, pushing down into the floor. Good stuff. And rest there. Another addition would be to use a band. So if you don't have a loop band, but you have a straight band like this, you can tie it around the legs, around that mid-thigh area. Create some resistance on that band for the legs. And then the same thing, but we're working the outside of the legs here. So pushing out, we're working the glute medius a little bit harder by pulling the knees out at the same time as rising up and coming down. Again, vertebra over vertebra, rolling and breathing, thinking about that alignment all the time. And the weight is going through those heels. That's where we're centering through. Squeezing the bum at the top. And you should get more action on that glute medius, coming back down, those abductor muscles. And again, making it harder, bring in the arms if you want to. Well done. So taking all the movements nice and slowly, working with the breath, not forcing anything, listening to the body and working within the range that is good for you is always advisable when it comes to fitness Pilates. So I hope you enjoyed that and those variations, feeling like you work in those muscles within the lower body and the core, and also getting the arms involved as well. If you've got any questions, do let me know.